Hi, I'm Leonore. Welcome to Soul Searching Tarot. I am not showing my face today. I was not planning to do a reading. I was studying actually my new tarot deck cards. This is, by the way, that's why I have it out, because I want to talk about this little guy right here. But I just recently bought the Wildwood Tarot, and I was prompted to do a reading, and I'll tell you why. But first of all, before I get into anything else, I want to talk about a couple of things. One is about the two signs, the two zodiac signs that I'm going to read for next, which is Capricorn and Sagittarius. I will like to post it by the end of the week, if not by the weekend. And if you know, I sometimes, not sometimes, if you have been following me for a little while, you'll know that I break up my videos in part 1, 2, and 3 sometimes. Part 1 is always about the zodiac sign. So if you don't want to get into the reading, that's fine. I would suggest, if you want to know about the zodiac sign, definitely always look at part 1 of the zodiac sign rising. If you are cross-watching because you want to know, what your man or your woman is doing, and they happen to be a particular zodiac sign, then, you're more than welcome to skip part 1 and go into part 2 for the reading. That's up to you. But that's, I just want to let you know that my platform does always integrate astrology as well as tarot. And speaking about astrology, the energy shift that we're having now, this new moon in Virgo, is supposed to affect Virgos, first of all, Geminis, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Does this mean this reading is only about these 4 particular signs? No. It's an energy shift. It's a new moon. It will affect the human race as a collective. I don't know what's going to come out in this reading. I do have my 2 tarot cards here combined. But it is it's an energy shift. It's a general reading for an energy shift that we are experiencing under this beautiful new moon. So stick around if you want to hear about it. If it resonates, I'm glad. Leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. So like I was saying, I bought the Wildwood Tarot just recently, and I was studying my cards, that's what I was doing before I was prompted to read for the evening. And this card right here, the Death card, I'll put it in closer. So the Wildwood Tarot is it's not your traditional tarot. A lot of my cards are not traditional. I don't do traditional, very unorthodox. And so something called me to, buy this tarot deck. I opened it up when I got to my house, and I realized that it was hard for me to pick up energy. I'm not sure if you know this. I might have said it before. If not, I'll tell you right now. I am clairsentient. What the heck does that mean, Leonore? Clairsentient? No, I'm not a saint or a Satan. Clair means clear. And then sentient. Sentient is, it means feeling or sensation. So I do have the ability, I'm very sensitive to energies and sensations, and And when I pick up a card, when I do tarot reading and I pick up a card, I will feel the energy. Okay, for the most part. And even in my everyday life, shit happens like that to me. When I was reading this card, and I don't just mean reading, when I was studying this card so that I could use this tarot deck, hopefully in my next 2 videos. By the way, as readers, we do have to study our cards. We can't just go all nilly-willy and pick up a card and start reading. I feel like, I mean, my opinion, you have to have some type of ability, clairaudient, or, be crazy like me and just speak to your spirit guides. I'm not saying that readers or people that are clairaudient are crazy. I'm not saying that at all. But some people would call us crazy, but that's okay, because crazy means genius, right? In my opinion. But, sorry, I'm going on a tantrum. All right, back to this card. So the journey, 13 represents death on the major arcana. This is the raven, by the way, in the tarot deck. And the raven is, if you didn't know this, is the spirit of the dead. And I'm going to go back to the Game of Thrones. And I'm sorry if this triggers anybody. I know not everybody is a Game of Thrones watcher. But Bran, and the raven had a very special connection. And so when you see this raven's eye, you see how he has like no fear, right? Not scared of anything, but he sees everything. Look at his intensity. The intensity of this raven, whether it's a, female or male, I don't know. This raven has the eyes, right? And Bran in the series, he had the ability to look into the past and into the future. Okay? And I didn't know that at the moment because I wasn't really trying to study about, I wasn't trying to make the connection between the Raven and the Game of Thrones. That was not my intention. That happened, I stumbled on that information by accident. What I was trying to pick up is the raven and how this raven is called the spirit of the dead, that ravens are known to be called the spirit of the dead. And that's why it is representing the death card on my tarot. No, not my tarot, but the Wildwood Tarot. Sorry. Tired of holding it, guys. Sorry. All right. I'm sure you're tired of seeing it in your face. All right. So one thing that resonated with me when I was trying to study this particular card, this major arcana, is the poem The Raven. Not sure if this hits anybody that knows anything about poems and literature, but Edgar Allan Poe was an American poet and writer, and he wrote the poem The Raven, and it was about his beloved Lenore. Not me. Some people call me Lenore, by the way, but my name is actually pronounced Leonore. But I remember this older lady many years back had informed me about this poem, and she said, "Oh my God, there's a poem named after you," and it's my beloved Lenore, Nevermore. If you ever know anything about that poem, it is pretty famous in literature poems. But Edgar Allan Poe he's an American poet here. I think it was back in the 1800s, but I could be wrong. don't quote me. He wrote this poem back then, and it's been pretty much a literature piece. And so the raven knocks on the window of the narrator or the writer, and he's pretty much going insane at this point because he sees this raven, and this raven on his window keeps whispering, Lenore, Lenore. And so he's going a little like mad at this point. He's like, what is going on? But the poem is much more better than what I'm describing it. The point is that this mysterious raven visits him while he's mourning his beloved Lenore, which, by the way, she died. And so while he's mourning, this raven comes and visits him, and the fact that he keeps hearing her name, he realizes, I think at the very end of the poem, that Lenore is reincarnated in this raven. Isn't that such a death card? Do you see why I like kind of resonated with that Edgar Allan Poe poem and the death card, the raven? I also resonated this card in a different way as well as a reader. You know, like I said, I'm trying to study my cards. This new card, this deck that I got from the Wildwood Tarot. And it said something very interesting in the book about the death card. And for us as readers, a lot of readers don't really read the death card has literally like death is upon us, or death is upon you, or death is somewhere nearby. You know, we say it's a death and transformation or rebirth of yourself or someone close to you. And that's true in many ways. But something hit me really bad. And this goes back to my clairsentient abilities. Something hit me really bad in my heart chakra. This energy of pure sadness and distraught. And even when I was meditating, this was like maybe 2 hours later when I decided to do the reading, or actually when I was being asked to do a reading by my spirit guides. Even when I was meditating and shuffling my cards, I still felt that pain. I got rid of it because as a clairsentient, you literally have to get rid of energies. You can't hold on to it. We do have to withdraw from that energy because it's not good. Let's just say it that way. It's not good for you. And so, have I ever been brokenhearted? Have I ever lost a loved one? Yes. Have I ever gone into this distraught energy where I feel like I just want to just die in this dark cave? Absolutely. And so that's the energy that came upon me. And that's why I have this card in front of your face. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so what does this have to do with the new moon? Leonore, are you just rambling again? No, I'm not rambling. I just want to let you know why I'm doing this reading. I was not trying to read for the new moon and the energy shift. I was just studying, guys. I was just studying my cards, my brand new cards, and I was led to do a reading for, I don't know for what. I have no idea. I'm calling it an energy shift reading because between the ability of feeling energies from the collectives And there is a energy shift that is in the sign of Virgo. A lot of planets are in the sign of Virgo, by the way. Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus. That's an Earth planet. Virgo is a Earth planet as well. What else is an Earth planet? Oh, Pluto is in Capricorn. I remember speaking about actually all three of those planets during my zodiac readings and insight on the zodiac signs. So yes, Mars is in Virgo, the Sun is in Virgo, this new moon is in Virgo, Pluto's in Capricorn, Uranus is in Taurus. Man, we are in so much Earth energy, it's not even funny. And my advice to you is hold on to that Earth energy. Earth is all about stability and being anchored. And if you feel like you're lost in some way or shape or form, try to anchor yourself to nature. You know, in the past decades that has passed by, and even before that, I'm not going to say decades, I'm going to say maybe a century, whenever the industrial revolution started, we have ignored our planet. We have forgotten that this planet is very sacred. These are sacred grounds. And so the fact that I chose the Wildwood Tarot, and the fact that I'm learning so much that these tarot cards have nothing to do with the ravens and death and stuff like that, it does depict a lot of the connection between man and nature. And when I say man, I mean is it humankind? Jeez. Sorry, it's late. So the connection between humans and nature. And that's a biggie, you know, because we're talking about the fact that we're destroying our planet, our Earth, our world. And I know you hear it in the news. I know you read about it. You may even get annoyed sometimes. One person that really advocates for the Earth is Leonardo DiCaprio. I love him as an actor. I think he's one of the greatest actors. I love watching him on film. But he has this extreme passion that has to do with the destruction of the Earth and how we can help, you know, maybe our next generation or 2 generations from now or 3 or 4 generations from now to take advantage of what this Earth has for us. We don't want, you know, generations from now and for these babies to be born in a world with no resource. You know, our grounds are sacred, our water are here to heal us. And what's going to happen generations from now? You know, we're in this self-absorbed, greedy mentality, and it's all about me at the moment. And we're not teaching. I mean, I'm not saying this is happening a lot, but for the most part, I feel like we should teach our children more about how to take care of our Earth, you know. And it just doesn't stop at recycling. Of course it helps, you know, but, you know, if you're going to teach your children about taking care of this planet, you know, follow through with it, you know, set an example. Don't just, you know, teach it or say it. You know, let them see you take care of this planet. Let them see how sacred this planet is to us. And if we don't do anything about it now, our generations from now, our bloodline, which I always like to talk about, because our bloodline does not stop when we die. They do continue. You know, they're going to be born into a planet that has nothing for them. The earth at the moment is burning, folks. I'm not sure if you know that. It is literally burning. There's at least, I mean, you always hear about California, you know, in the forest fires, you know, and the mountains burning. Right now in South America, the Amazon, the great Amazon forest, there's some of it that's burning. You know, on the other side of the world, I can't remember the countries right now at the moment, but you know, there's, you know, what we see on television in California that happens at least twice a year, people losing their homes and the earth is burning. It's happening a lot more than you think. It's just not happening in California, folks. It's happening around the world. So let's be very mindful about watching the news and listening to these great advocates and people that are, you know, all about pro planet, you know. They're not just talking shit. There's some truth behind it, but you know, of course, big businesses want to make money. And so we don't really want to scare our clients, and we don't want to lose money. I'm not talking me, I'm not a corporate industry, but and I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general, you know, that's what they're thinking. And so telling people that the planet is literally almost half fucking gone would not be good for business, is what I'm saying. All right, so once again, I'm gonna click off. This is part 1 because I freaking rambled on like a maniac, like always. I'm gonna go into part 2 and do this like special reading. It is a special reading on the energy shift that pertains to this new moon. Something's happening and I feel it in my heart. And I hope that this resonates with someone. Oh guys, speaking about like planet, I have like this beautiful, I took this out on purpose because I knew I was going to talk about saving the planet. Not this glass bowl. This wood. Look at this wood. This is real wood, by the way. I have like two of these. One of them happens to be a lava rock. I got it from West Elm, and I fell in love with them. I bought like 2 of these. This is like a real tree, and I don't know. They did something to it, so it could be like, you know, for a decorative piece. But it is real wood, and I love having some type of nature in my house. You know, as you can see, I have these fake flowers or plants, tree or whatever. I do love plants. Not that I don't. I love plants. I love bathing in flowers. If some people know me, and when I do my cleansing, my bath, I'll put like flowers and sea salt in my water. I love nature. I love going into the woods. I live across the street from the woods, which prompted me to buy the Wildwood Tarot. Actually, it did not. I don't know. It just called on to me. All right. So I'm going to click off. We're going to go into part 2, and we're going to start the reading. Again, this may pertain to a lot of Geminis and Sagittarius, Virgo especially, Pisces. If you have a lot of earth placements, I would definitely just listen to. If you don't know your birth chart, that's fine. Just listen and see if it resonates, okay? All right, see you in part 2.